Hey, Bears fans, fill in the blank for me. Chicago will win blank games this year. On today's video, I'm going to go through the entire 16-game schedule, predict the score and who will win each game for the Bears. And at the end, we will see if the Bears have won enough games to make the playoffs. So fill in the blank, predict how many games the Bears will win this season. And with that being said, let's start today's video. All right, the Bears open up at the Detroit Lions before facing the Giants on the road against Atlanta, and then the Colts at home. We will go through every single game on today's show. Obviously, Chicago and Mitch Trubisky specifically has had really good success against the Lions in the past. We will see who the quarterback is for week one. I still believe Nick Foles will win the job, but Bears 8-8 last year. Lions obviously struggled after dealing with injuries in the middle of the season. I think Chicago starts the season off with a victory, 24-17, getting a key road win to start the 2020 campaign. Early part of the schedule, Chicago has to take advantage of. 7 straight games against 2019 teams that did not make the playoffs. I think they start strong. They take care of Matt Stafford and the Lions 24-17. Week 2, they return home for the home opener against the New York Giants. Rebuilding team, Daniel Jones year 2, coming off a 4-12 season. Didn't love their draft. I think this is a game you got to get if you're the Bears, and I think they will. I've got Chicago winning this one 27-13. Defense will force 2 or 3 turnovers, get a couple of picks off of Danny Dimes, and get off to a 2-0 start. Offensive attack balance. Good win for the Bears by a couple of scores. Should be a fairly easy one. Week 3, Chicago heads back on the road to face the Atlanta Falcons. Couple of teams here, it's kind of interesting. A lot of parallels. Both coaching staffs and general managers kind of on the hot seat entering 2020. Matt Nagy, Ryan Pace, Dimitrov, and Dan Quinn for the Falcons. So this is a big game for both teams. I've got the Bears dropping their first game of the season, 27-20 on the road. Atlanta finished last year strong. They've got a good offense. I think they improved a little bit on defense as well. So I think the Bears fall to 2-1 with a loss in Atlanta in Week 3. And then in Week 4, they return back home to Soldier Field. Colts, Bears. You got Phillip Rivers in Indianapolis. Could be Nick Foles playing for the Bears. A couple of new quarterbacks on different teams here. I like Chicago in a tight one here. Defensive battle early, back and forth late. I think the Bears win this one 24-23 in classic Phillip Rivers fashion. Late drive comes up short, and the Bears hang on by 1 point to improve to 3-1 through the first 4 games of the season. Before we get to Week 5, I want you to do a favor for me. Share this video on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever it is. Easiest way to share it, it'll be my pinned tweet on my Twitter account. So just go follow me at HGramNFL on Twitter. My very top tweet, it'll be the pinned tweet. Just give it a retweet, give it a like. It'll share. We'll get more views on this video. We greatly appreciate it from you guys, and that would be a very good way to spread the channel as well. So go ahead and share this video on social media. Next game up on the schedule will be the Buccaneers Thursday Night Football as we look at weeks 5 through 8 at Carolina, at LA to face the Rams, and then the Saints back at home. So schedule starts to kick into gear a little bit more here. Bucs Thursday Night Football. This is going to be an interesting one. I have no idea what to expect from Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. You got Gronk back in the fold. Bruce Arians, good offensive coach. I think the Bucs get a tight one in Chicago. Thursday night games are always tricky. I think the Bucs get this one, though, 23-17. I just think Tom Brady finds a way to get this one done. This is one of those key games. The Bears could find a way to win this one, get to 4-1. That would be big. I don't see it as of now. Way too early predictions, obviously. Got to see both these teams play. 23-17 Bucs as the Bears fall to 3-2. Week 6 at Carolina. This should be a very manageable game for the Chicago Bears, even though it's on the road. You got kind of the mini bye week after Thursday Night Football. Carolina's rebuilding. I got the Bears 24-10, improving to 4-2 on the season. I like the chances for Chicago in this one. Carolina's probably in a reboot under Matt Rule for a couple of years here. Like I said, extra off days here after Thursday Night Football, so Chicago improves to 4-2 after a reasonably easy win up in Carolina. All right, Bears fans, why don't you stay safe in style? And hey, if we're allowed to attend games this year, you may have to wear a mask, so you want to get one of these puppies. Chatsports.com/BearsMask. You can get this 3-pack for just $25. Maybe you can get one for your wife or your son, whatever it is. 3-pack for just $25. We're all trying to stay safe out there, do our part in society. Make sure you stay safe in style by getting a Bears face mask. This 3-pack, again, for $25. I'll put the link in the comments and the description to make it easy on you guys. Week 7 matchup, Bears are on the road against the Rams. This is kind of one of those pivotal games, I think, because I mentioned first 7 games against non-playoff teams from last year. I think the Bears get a key road win here. They beat the Rams a couple of years ago in pretty impressive fashion when Jared Goff threw a couple of picks. I could see another scenario here. I think it was 4 picks in that game, actually, what it was. 20-16 defensive battle. Bears quarterback, whoever it is, makes less mistakes than Jared Goff. That's what I'm banking on. Bears have a better defense. I think they find a way to grind one out on the road to improve to 5-2 on the 2020 season. And it'll be important to win that one because Week 8 is going to be a tough one. Saints come to town, Who Dat Nation, looking to be a Super Bowl contender yet again this year, 13-3 this past season. I think the Bears play well in this one. They'll play hard, but they'll fall 28-24 in a Sunday afternoon game to fall to 5-3 on the 2020 season. I got the Saints in a tight one, 28-24, a little higher scoring in this one. Don't think the Saints' defense is great, so I think the Bears will score some, but Drew Brees is Drew Brees, and I trust him more than Nick Foles or Mitchell Trubisky. I want you to like this video if you think the Bears are going to the playoffs. First half of the year, I got them at 5-3, so we're in good shape as of now. Go ahead and give this a thumbs up if you believe the Bears are going to make the playoffs in 2020. All right, let's go to weeks 9 through 12 on the road at Tennessee. The Vikings at home for a little Monday Night Football. Week 11 is, of course, the bye week. And then Sunday Night Football in Week 12, so a couple of primetime games during this stretch of the 2020 schedule for the Chicago Bears. Let's start with Tennessee, noon, 1 o'clock kick Eastern time in Week 9. 8-8 last year for the Bears, 9-7 for the Titans. Obviously, Tennessee finished last year very, very strong. Really good defense, strong running game with Derrick Henry. Ryan Tannehill doesn't make a lot of mistakes. Tennessee and Chicago are built very similarly. So I think this is going to be one of those grinded-out type of games, and I got Tennessee in a tight one. I'm basically just favoring the home team here. 21-17, Bears fall to 5-4. You know, there's 4 or 5 games on the schedule that are kind of 50-50 for every single team. This is one of them for the Bears, so you would like to get this one if you can, but that's a tough road matchup for Chicago. I think Tennessee squeaks out a tight one. Bears fall to 5-4. Week 10, they return home to face the Minnesota Vikings. Obviously, Minnesota, big roster overhaul on that defense. Still a good roster, though. Mike Zimmer, a really good head coach. But I think the Bears take care of business here in a tight one on Monday Night Football. 23-20 in a must-win game. You don't want to fall back to 500. You get to 6-4 here. I think the Bears force a couple of Kirk Cousins interceptions here, and they find a way to win a close one, 23-20 over their NFC North rival, the Minnesota Vikings, to improve to 6-4. Another NFC North matchup after the bye week. Remember, Week 10 against the Vikings, Week 11 the bye week, and then Week 12 on the road at Green Bay. Always a tough ask, even after a bye week for Chicago. So you got the extra time to prepare, which gives the Bears a decent shot in this game. But I think Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers makes a couple of extra plays late. They win this one 28-21. Chicago falls to 6-5. Keep in mind the Bears will get their chance at home against Green Bay in Week 17. We'll get to that matchup in a bit, but I got the Packers holding serve at home by a touchdown, so the Bears fall to 6-5 on the season. What is your favorite game on the Bears schedule? Go ahead and let me know. I kind of like the Bucs at home in Week 5 because Tom Brady in a different uniform is going to be fascinating to see. But go ahead, type below, what is your favorite game on the Bears schedule? Quick reminder, you can get this Bears face mask 3-pack for just $25. Make sure you're staying safe out there, and you can do it in style when you go to chatsports.com/BearsMask. Chatsports.com/BearsMask and get this 3-pack of Bears face coverings for just $25. All right, final stretch here. Bears sitting at 6-5, according to my way too early predictions heading into the final 5 weeks of the season. First Detroit, Houston at home, at Minnesota, at Jacksonville, versus Green Bay. So some manageable games here. Minnesota and Green Bay will be tough, but those other 3 are pretty manageable for the Chicago Bears. Let's start with Detroit at home. To me, you got to sweep Detroit this year. Obviously they feel pressure to win now. Matt Patricia's on the hot seat, but I just think the Bears have a better football team than the Detroit Lions. I think they take care of business easily at home, 31-13 in a Week 13 a matchup here. Bears improved to 7-5. Excuse me, on the 2020 NFL season, and what I consider a must-win game. You cannot lose to Detroit at home in Week 13. Then you host the Texans. Oh, the ghost of Deshaun Watson, what could have been. Deshaun Watson, probably Nick Foles. We'll see if Trubisky is the matchup here in this one. I got the Bears in a tight one. I think they get they take care of the Texans. No DeAndre Hopkins anymore, so that's one less weapon you got to worry about for the Houston Texans. I think Chicago improves to 8-5, 24-23 with a key win over Houston. This is what, again, kind of falls into that 50-50 category. You get them at home, got to hold serve at home in those 50-50 type of games, and I think the Bears are able to do so in this one to improve to 8-5 on the season. Then the Bears go to the Vikings. Remember the first time around, I have the Bears winning at home. This time they're on the road, Week 15 against Minnesota. Close game last time. I think it's a close game this time, too. I think Minnesota evens the season matchup, though. 26-20. Road games in the division, they're difficult, guys. That's just the bottom line. That's why you got to sweep Detroit. That's how you get your road win in the division. And then if you can split the other two against Minnesota and Green Bay, you go 4-2 in the division. That's how you do it. So I got Minnesota winning this one. Bears fall to 8-6 heading into Week 16. Then another must-win on the schedule. Most teams, 3 or 4 games, when the schedule comes out, you're like, all right, we got to win these 4. Jacksonville's one of them, even though it's on the road. Can't lose to the Jags. Week 16, must win. I think the Bears are focused. They take care of business easily, 34-10. Gardner Minshew did some good things as a rookie, but playing a defense like the Bears is going to be a tough ask for him. Nick Foles playing for Jacksonville last year, too. He'll have some input on what they like to do schematically. I think this is a cruising victory for Chicago to improve to 9-6. So, as you guys know, 9-7, 10-6, a lot of the times that's the difference between making the playoffs or missing it. Now, the extra wild card spot will probably mean more 9-7 teams will make it moving forward. But Week 17, those hated Packers coming to Soldier Field, for a key matchup. Bears, I got them at 9-6 heading into this matchup. What did I say earlier? You got to split with your divisional opponents and maybe sweep one of them. I got them sweeping the Lions. I've got them splitting with the Vikings. And I've got them splitting with the Packers. Chicago finds a way, 27-24, to get that key 10th win, which I think will be more than enough to make the playoffs in 2020. 27-24, there it is. My way too early predictions for the Bears. I got the Bears winning 10, losing 6, and making the playoffs as an NFC wildcard team.